What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you. It's a Tuesday, February 20th. Had to spit the gum out. Hope you're doing well. It's your boy, Zack Miller. Zack Miller Live, episode 7, if my math is correct. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Today is going to be a fun edition because we're going to be talking about my favorite ads, commercials of all time. Obviously, the Super Bowl just happened just a few weeks ago, and commercials are a huge part of the Super Bowl. Commercials are a huge part of so many people's lives, and as ridiculous of a statement as that is, people enjoy commercials sometimes. People enjoy the Super Bowl commercials, and oftentimes that's why they're even watching the Super Bowl. So, if you guys are enjoying this, which I know you are, stick around for a little while because you're in for a ride. So here's what's interesting. So I'm going to show you guys 2 commercials over the next few minutes. One is, I guess, ranked highly regarded as one of the greatest commercials of all time. What do you think that is first? What do you think the highest regarded commercial of all time is? That's number 1. And then number 2, what do you think my favorite commercial of all time is? I'm also going to show you guys that. So they're 2 very different commercials, and they're actually both 60 seconds long each. So I'm going to show you both in their entirety today. It's episode 7, Tuesday, February 20th of Zack Miller Live, 9:26 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, good morning, 6:26 over there. If you're in Denver, 7:26 for my Denver audience. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Thanks for being with me today. So here's what to be thinking about. What are my favorite commercials of all time? What is my favorite commercial of all time? What are some of your favorite commercials of all time? Would love to hear about it and why. Now I'm gonna share it because I gotta share this with my other viewers. What says? What are your fave commercial? What is your fave commercial? Because fave, that's cool. Post that. All right. So the number 1, or highest regarded, or the greatest commercial of all time, actually aired in the 1984, I believe, Super Bowl. It's the Apple Macintosh release. And if rumor is true, they only ran this commercial once. I don't know that that's actually true. It's what they say. But here is the commercial in its entirety.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. You created for the first time in all history a garden of pure ideology where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of the rules is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Such a weird one, really, if you think about it. It's quite odd. So, 1984, George Orwell, I believe that's his name. A book about Big Brother. And so this ad is basically saying that years later they're saying this is what it means. So basically, instead of having the same computer as everyone else, you can personalize your stuff. Pretty cool ad. Pretty exciting stuff. One of the greatest ads of all time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's the greatest ad of all time? It's definitely known as the first commercial that really changed the story of a Super Bowl. It's definitely the first ad or commercial that really gave a long inform piece of the Super Bowl, got people excited about the commercials. Rumor is that they bought 2 ads, but their board was so terrified when they watched the ad, they were like, we're not even selling the product. And so the board told them to sell. The Apple board told them to sell. And they came back and sold one, but they said that they couldn't sell the other one. So they ran with it. And now years later, 33 years later, it's one of the highest regarded commercials of all time. Now, some other commercials that probably make honorable mention, Dilly Dilly, of course. A lot of Budweiser commercials in there that are really, really, really good. So the What's Up commercials. Was it Reebok commercials where the guy in I can't recall what it was, but it was the guy that was in the office, like Office Terry, and he would go around and tackle people. That commercial was good. Commercials this year are actually pretty good for the Super Bowl and overall. But my number one commercial, my favorite commercial of all time, what do you think it is? This is a hard one, I think, because most of you would not guess this. But I believe that the best commercial of all time is an Under Armour commercial. And for those of you that know me, I used to be a swimmer. And so it's a Michael Phelps swimming commercial when he was preparing for last year's or 2 years ago's Olympics. And I believe this commercial just really shows that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. And this ad just gives you chills that you have to do the uncomfortable if you want something different. And Nick says Tide commercials during the Super Bowl. Yeah, 2018 Super Bowl Tide commercials, fantastic. Had people really thinking about it. So my favorite commercial of all time, it's an Under Armour ad with Michael Phelps back in 2016 preparing for the Olympics. Here we go.
It's the last goodbye, I swear. I have no regrets, for the past is behind me. Tomorrow reminds me just where. Can't quite see the end. How can I rely on my heart if I break it with my own 2 hands? I heard all you said, don't say anything. It's the last goodbye, I swear.
Gives me chills just watching that every time. I mean, the music is so good. You see someone go through so much to get to it. Just an incredible thing. That last quote, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's what you do in the dark that puts you in the light. Rule yourself. It's deep. It's really good. I mean, do the things that no one sees. Right? So as I'm like thinking about what am I going to talk about today, researching, I came up with this idea, last night saying, oh, let's talk about my favorite ads of all time, or favorite kind of commercials of all time. What are you doing when no one's watching? What are you doing to prepare? That's really what makes people the GOAT. That's what really makes people incredible creatures, if you will. It's 9:34 on the East Coast. Zack Miller Live, Episode 7, Tuesday, February 20th. It's going to be a balmy 70 degrees here in the Virginia Beach area. Imagine that. It's February and 70 degrees. It's beach weather, people. So, what are your favorite commercials? You just saw my favorite commercial, at least that I can think of right now. It's like the only commercial I would ever Google or YouTube and then watch it. no other commercial have I really done that. Dilly Dilly, I've done that. That's funny, but with a real big meaning. That commercial was powerful, and as a business owner, you look at that and you go, "Oh man, this will get you going." It kind of reminds me of Rocky, but in a minute and 30 seconds. So if you're ever down, maybe watch that commercial. That just gave me an idea to do best movies coming up. Nick Sutton says the Tide commercials during the Super Bowl were the best. They were, because you didn't know what to expect. You didn't know, is this a Tide commercial? Is this the other commercial? It's just so funny. Yeah, people do talk about the funny ads, and Nick says, I think some of the most impactful are the funny commercials. I think heartfelt commercials make you think, but at the same time, I believe most people talk more about funny ads. They absolutely think about more funny ads because humor probably is going to hit more people, right? So not everyone is a swimmer. Not everyone probably knows who Michael Phelps is. Not everyone cares about something like the Michael Phelps ad. But as a business owner, it's one of those things where it hit home to me. I also used to be a swimmer, so you put those things together, it's there. The funny ads, man, they do get people thinking. What's interesting about commercials, though, recently is how much money they're putting into movie releases on commercials. I find that to be pretty interesting because, gosh, I don't know what the breakdown is, but at least 20%, you would think, of the Super Bowl now is movie ads. They're really trying to get people to the box office, right? That's pretty interesting stuff. What are some other funny ads of all time? Let's do a quick Google search. Funniest ads of all time. These are always interesting. Adweek. Okay, the Apple Stuffed commercial, number 10 for them. Something with the Holiday Inn whale song. Bus Station. Skittles Pinata. Don't remember that. You know what? Doritos has good commercials, too. Those are usually pretty good. Bud Light. Mr. Really, Really Bad Dancer. I never thought that was that funny. Was that Terry Tate? That's his name. The Reebok Terry Tate commercials. Those were great. Cadbury Grella. Don't remember that. Wendy's Where's the Beef. Clever. I think Terry Tate was pretty impactful. A lot of people like that. I think that was when I was in high school. Nope, right. Just during college. But people would go around thinking about that, talking about that. And if you can get people... think about that from a Budweiser perspective. And I guess with What's Up and Dilly Dilly, they probably get people who are not of age to be saying things like that. Some people might disagree with that, but that's pretty powerful, and they have some really popular ads. So, you saw it here today, Zack Miller Live, episode 7. The most regarded commercial of all time. The Apple 1984 commercial. People think it's the best of all time. Do I? I don't know. It's interesting, it's good, it's exciting, it's cool, whatever. Is it the greatest of all time? To me, probably not. But it definitely has changed the world of commercials because now there's stories being told. Now there's people at the Super Bowl putting together things that have nothing to do with their business, and it's just interesting. My favorite commercial, at least the one that I can think of, the Michael Phelps Under Armour. Great quote in there. It's what you do in the dark that really puts you in the light. Rule yourself. Christy Walker says, Traveler's Dog Insurance. Okay. We'll watch that a little bit later. Looks cute. Oh, it's very old. Almost a decade old. You guys check that out. Look, what are your favorite commercials of all time? When you see an ad, do you change the channel? On the Super Bowl, do you change the channel? Probably not. Right? That's what a lot of people do when they see an ad. Not me, not during the Super Bowl. I like watching commercials. And you know what's interesting? A lot of times you have to do something so different to just get someone's attention, to just to stand out, to get people to even look. And so a lot of these commercials, it takes a couple of times. Like, I remember the Dilly Dilly commercial this year. I didn't get it. I didn't think about it. Didn't care about it until I went on my honeymoon, and that's all anyone said. It was weird. But now, obviously, it's there. You know, it's kind of ran its course. It looks like it's run its course. Someone asked me recently, is Dilly Dilly bigger than What's Up? You know, that'll be interesting to see in a few years. You know, What's Up was another one of those highly regarded commercials. Does well. So, the Michael Phelps commercial, my favorite commercial of all time. I think very powerful. Makes you really think that if you just put your mind to it, bust your tail, you can make things happen. Obviously, that might not be the case with everyone, but you see someone like Michael Phelps, who, I mean, greatest Olympian of all time. I don't even think that's a question. And you saw a little bit of what he had to go through to get it. I mean, that cupping stuff, that does not look fun. And then, of course, the Apple 1984 Macintosh commercial changed everything. So that's it. Zack Miller Live, episode 7. Hope you guys had a great day. In the comments below, if you're watching this later, let me know what your favorite commercial is. And tomorrow's topic, TBD. But we'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you being here. Zack Miller, episode 7. Peace.